Vietnam, China signed bilateral cooperation agreements.
U.S. NATO allies declined to join Hormuz Strait blockade.
Migrant boat capsizes in Andaman Sea. About 250 missing.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first step of the show. During the official visit to China by the party General Secretary and the State President Tô Lâm, Vietnam and China just signed a number of key cooperation agreements, helping to further deepen and substantively advance bilateral relations.
The signed documents span a wide range of key sectors, including economic and trade cooperation, investment, infrastructure connectivity, science and technology, transport, and subnational collaboration. They serve to operationalize the common understandings reached by the two countries' senior leaders in recent years. Notably, both sides agreed to advance the alignment of their development strategies, with a focus on enhancing transport infrastructure connectivity, particularly cross-border railway links. At the same time, cooperation in emerging areas such as the digital economy, green transition, and supply chains was highlighted to better adapt to an increasingly volatile global economic landscape. The two countries also committed to facilitating trade activities, especially for Vietnam's agricultural exports, thereby improving the effectiveness of economic cooperation and moving toward more balanced and sustainable development.
U.S. allies within NATO have said they will not take part in President Donald Trump's proposed plan to blockade the Strait of Hormuz.
Several countries, including Germany, Spain, Italy, Poland and Greece, have ruled out deploying naval forces to support the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Instead, U.S. NATO allies suggested they would only intervene once the conflict has ended, a stance that could further strain cohesion within the alliance. According to UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, reopening the Strait of Hormuz is of critical importance. In peacetime, around 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this strategic waterway linking the Persian Gulf with the Indian Ocean. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron said Paris would host a conference with the UK and other partners to establish a multinational mission aimed at restoring maritime operations in the Strait of Hormuz.
Around 250 people, including women and children, are feared missing after a refugee boat capsized in the Andaman Sea off the western coasts of Myanmar, Thailand, and Malay Peninsula.
The fishing boat, which had departed from southern Bangladesh and was en route to Malaysia, capsized and sank after encountering strong winds and rough seas. Overcrowding further worsened the situation. Authorities did not specify when the incident occurred, while media reports said the vessel was carrying around 280 people and had left Bangladesh on April 4. The Bangladesh Coast Guard said a patrol vessel rescued 9 survivors on the afternoon of April 9. One survivor recounted that the boat capsized 4 days after departure and that they had drifted at sea for nearly 36 hours before being rescued. With its relatively developed economy, Malaysia has become a destination for millions of migrants from poorer parts of Asia. However, sea crossings organized by human trafficking networks are often highly dangerous, frequently resulting in deadly boat accidents due to overcrowding.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The party's Central Committee's Secretariat has approved the appointment of Nguyen Thi Hong Hwa as member and chairwoman of the Inspection Commission of the Nguyen Provincial Party Committee for the 2025 to 2030 term. Earlier, at the first meeting of the 20th Provincial Party Congress Executive Committee, she was elected to the position. The approval is aimed at completing personnel procedures and ensuring unified leadership in inspection and supervision work within the provincial party organization. The decision is expected to enhance the effectiveness of party inspection and discipline, contributing to building a clean and strong party organization in Ngi and in the new period.
The Ministry of Finance of Vietnam is proposing to raise the income threshold used to determine dependence for personal income tax deductions from 1 million Vietnamese dongs to around 3 million Vietnamese dongs per month. The proposal is part of a broader review and amendment of the personal income tax law to better align with current socio-economic conditions and living standards. According to the ministry, the existing threshold has been in place for many years and no longer reflects actual living costs. Raising the threshold is expected to expand the number of eligible dependents, thereby reducing tax liabilities for taxpayers, particularly those in the middle income group.
Ahead of the FIFA World Cup 2026, Vietnam Television is ramping up multi-platform content production, integrating traditional broadcasting with digital platforms such as social media and online applications. World Cup programming will be designed with flexible formats, ranging from news bulletins and talk shows to short-form videos and behind-the-scenes content, tailored to each platform. At the same time, VTV is placing greater emphasis on audience engagement through polls, predictions, and live commentary. This shift aims to enhance the viewer experience and expand reach, particularly among younger audiences, amid intensifying competition in the content landscape.
Each summer, visitors to Galore are not only seeking comfortable accommodation, but are increasingly prioritizing experiential spaces where they can gather and enjoy their holidays in their own way. As a result, homestays are gradually emerging as a new option, contributing to a shift in the coastal accommodation market. More in the story today.
Over the past year, the number of homestay establishments in Nha Giang has increased rapidly. From a handful of small, scattered models, homestays are now emerging as a dynamic accommodation segment, reshaping the local tourism landscape.
Seeing more homestays this year, I also wanted to try the experience.
One of the key drivers behind the strong growth of homestays is their flexible pricing, catering to a wide range of customers. From simple rooms for students and groups of young travelers to entire house rentals for large families or higher-end guests. Each segment offers suitable options.
Children have plenty of space to play, families feel closer, and costs are more affordable. A whole villa like this is equivalent to renting 4 to 5 hotel rooms. But entering this business is still quite challenging.
Unlike the uniformity of traditional hotels, each homestay carries its own distinctive style. Some embrace a coastal theme. Others adopt minimalist designs, while many are converted from local homes, preserving indigenous living characteristics. This sense of novelty, familiarity, and feeling at home has become a major attraction, particularly for younger travelers seeking authentic experiences.
Compared to previous years, bookings have come earlier due to the longer holiday period. Prices typically rise by around 10% during holidays and weekends.
The rapid expansion of this model not only reflects evolving tourist preferences but also opens up a flexible and promising business direction for local residents during the peak tourism season.
The last story just ended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now and see you later.